Hi, I'm Peter Gives, a Jesuit priest and director of A Faith That Does Justice. I'd like to offer a brief reflection on our readings for this Sunday, which is Palm Sunday, where we're really invited to walk with Jesus in his passion and death in this world, believing in his resurrection to come. The Jewish scriptures really speak from the prophet Isaiah of the suffering servant of Yahweh, who has taken on the sins of this world. And what we find later in Christian tradition is the taking on of that image in Jesus' name as he being the fulfillment of that suffering servant who brought redemption to a world still so in need of healing and salvation. Isaiah really was talking in the 6th century of the Jewish people returning from Babylon in exile, where they had suffered doubly for their own transgressions. And Isaiah saw them now through this suffering to really be a light to this world, to really teach people what it meant to follow God in this world, to do God's will, and to live covenant relationship. And in our gospel reading from Mark, we really walk with Jesus through the Last Supper, to his passion in Gethsemane, to his arrest and trial before the Sanhedrin as well as Pilate, and then through his death and crucifixion, trusting, believing that God of creation will raise him from the dead, and that we too will one day be raised in the same manner. I think it begs the question, though, as we step back before we really reach our Easter season, is really to ask, what is the depth of our own relationship with God? What is the depth of our discipleship with Jesus? We're called to imitate Jesus' life. Jesus was killed by human sinfulness. It rose up, took his life because of the way he had lived. And we really are called to identify with Jesus' life, and our life takes on discipleship to the extent that we really take on his own life by trying to imitate it. We're called to offer ourselves not only by living the values he lived of love, compassion, and justice for all, but by placing ourselves as he did in conflict-ridden situations of social injustice. And once there, to act against human sinfulness by speaking truth to power and by affirming life in its fullness, regardless of the race, the color, religion, sexual orientation of the people that we are involved with or that we encounter along the way. God created all, and God desires the salvation of all God's people. And so as we move into this Holy Week, a time of great opportunity to really identify where we stand in relationship to God and to Jesus, let us pray that our own actions, our own humble actions, as small as they may be, may help to transform this cross of suffering into one of glory that really seeks to transform this world, a world that still remains in need of tremendous transformation. And so there's some food for thought for this week. I hope it is helpful to you. And I look forward to speaking with you next week as we really enter into our Easter season and celebrate the joy, the forgiveness, and the mission to really live Jesus' values in this world so that all people might know the salvation that God desires for them. Well, thank you very much, and look forward to speaking with you soon.